That's all. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another live talk show, Coffee with Mickey. Our hot topic today is for students wanting to exchange or convert their visa from visitor to a student visa. So, we will be discussing in detail some of the questions that I've been getting lately from a lot of clients who are here in Australia on a visitor visa and wanting to convert or extend their stay in Australia to a student visa. So the first question is most most of the times I get is, can I extend my stay while I'm in Australia on a visitor visa to a student visa? So if it really depends, the answer to this question is a yes and a no. A no if you have a visa condition 8503 on your visitor visa. No, you cannot. You must go back to the department to get that condition waived or request the minister to intervene to waive that condition for you. Most of the times, most of the cases, you will get a negative reply. So I would suggest seek an alternate solution if you have an 8503 condition on your visa, and seek advice from a professional migration agent or a lawyer in regards to that. But if you do not have a 8503 condition, which means no further stay on your visitor visa, yes, more than happy to look into your case, and you probably have a good chance to convert your visitor visa to a student visa, and that could even in fact be done without an English test or uh, evidence of financial capacity. So that means without evidence of funds into a diploma or an advanced diploma course. But if you're looking at enrolling into a bachelor or a master level education, when you're converting your visitor visa to a student visa, you might as well will require English and your uh, finance evidence, because most of the universities in Australia will treat you the same as an offshore client if you are here in Australia on a visitor visa. So they'll still do your GTE checks, they'll still verify that you have got proficient or equivalent English that is required for your course, and they will still require financial capacity to provide evidence that you can support your study in Australia while you are on a student visa. So, in short, if you are here on a visitor visa, yes, you can apply for a student visa. We can assist you with those applications. We can find you the course that you want to pursue in Australia. So, if it is a diploma or an advanced diploma course, or a trade course, even you wish to study, yes, there might be options where you don't require English evidence or financial evidence. But if you are going to go into a university, yes, you would require both. Sometimes there would be options that you won't have a PTE test or a IELTS test, and the university will uh, be more than happy to offer you their in-house English test, that you can go to the university and sit an English test for an hour, and they'll find the capacity of your English, and if they're satisfied, they'll give you an offer. But if they're not satisfied, they will come back to you and say, hey, I need your PT or IELTS test to be done while here. So, guys, other questions that I frequently get is about family members. You want to add your family members who are onshore to your student visa application that you are going to apply while you are on a visitor visa. Can I add my family members? The answer is yes, you can add your family members while you are here in Australia and you are on a visitor visa, you're applying for a student visa application onshore. You can definitely add your family members. But again, you want to consider this, that sometimes I get questions like, it's me, my wife, and I've got two kids. We are all here on a visitor visa, and I want to do a diploma in business. Okay, does it make any sense? Is it essential for a diploma course for the applicant to have her spouse, both the children, to stay with them in Australia to support their studies while they're studying here in Australia? What is the reason why they can't do a similar course in their home country, wherever they're coming from? Why can't they, choose to do this education overseas. So most of the master or the bachelor courses are highly skilled courses, highly good qualifications that we can do a good comparison, a good GTE, why you want to or why you wish to study that in Australia. What are the prospects of these courses when you go back to your home country? What are the prospects, career prospects, financially evident that it is going to help you increase your annual income and increase your reputation, increase your career progression back home in your home country when you finish this course as compared to those diploma course. Uh, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody says, I want to do a certificate 3 in bricklaying, for example. Okay, so how do we provide evidence that you with your whole family is going to stay in Australia? That's what the delegates want to see. They want to see your answer written in your GTE. They're not going to call you to interview to explain them why do you think this course is going to be financially viable for you to complete in Australia and go back to your home country, and this course is going to help you have a good progression in your career and financial stability in your home country. So think about it, yourself, and give a big thought, a long thought to yourself. Do you think if you were the immigration officer, you will be convinced enough that a certificate in bricklaying and staying in Australia with 4 family members is going to give you a good GTE where you can go back and provide evidence that it's going to help you get a progression in your career, as compared to a master in teaching or master in social work or master in IT or bachelor's in community services. You know, you got to weigh your chances. So it's not that, it does not mean that you already landed in Australia on a visitor visa, it's gonna guarantee your student visa. That's a myth. They got to look at the application in still in the same form and format of a student visa. Are you applicable? Are you ticking all the boxes for the student visa? Are you passing the GTE? Are you passing the English requirement? Are you passing the financial viability requirement? And do you have ties back with your home country? Do you have economic ties? Do you have family ties? Are you going to go back to your home country after you finish your education? So everything still remains the same. The only difference is that you get a review right if you put your application from here in Australia. So those review right means that if you get a visa refusal, you have a right to a tribunal, and you can extend your stay on a bridging visa if your visa is refused. That's the only difference where I see it from. So having a good agent to look at your application is suggested, and to see what documents, what supporting documents you are presenting with your case while you are here on a visitor visa and you're trying to extend your stay to a student visa. That'll be reasonable grounds. Another question I get most frequently is about the sponsor. Let's say you are already here in Australia and you've had your visitor visa supported or sponsored by a family member in Australia, and you want to check if your sponsor who sponsored you on a visitor visa can sponsor you again on a student visa. Can they support you financially? There's no direct answer to this question, guys. So it's a yes. Financially in the past, is the sponsor directly related to you? Is that your sibling, your parent, your brother, your sister, your mother, or immediate family member who has been supporting you for a long time while you were overseas? Do you have evidence of support from that sponsor? If not, then my suggestion would be to get a sponsor or get financial evidence support from your home country, because providing financial evidence from your home country also ticks the boxes for economic ties to your home country. Let's say you have money sitting in your family's account, or your parents or your brother or your sister's account, who's supporting you from India or Pakistan or Bangladesh or Nepal or Sri Lanka. Give it any example. Uh, uh, you know it's simple that you have got financial evidence in your home country to support. So that means you can provide evidence that you will go back to, you know, for example, if you're taking a bank loan, you will go back to pay off that debt back to your home country where you have been in security of your property or some other asset that you own. Or you can support your GTE by evidence that you've got finances home country to support your studies here in Australia, and that is where you belong to, and it's gonna be going back and giving support to your family to increase their business or maybe increase probability of growth of the family back home in your home country. If the support is coming from an Australian citizen, uh, it's I won't say it's an adverse effect, but it's not a positive either, because then the immigration is going to look at your application saying that you are in Australia on a visitor visa, you're getting support from an Australian citizen, you are living with them, they are financially supporting you, why would you go back to your home country? So there could be a chance of a refusal of the visa based on the fact that support is coming from Australia, inside Australia, and Australia is not getting an income or an investment as an international student visa from outside of Australia, so it's not bringing any money into the country from overseas. So the money is going to stay from within Australia to an Australian education provider. So it's not importing any financial assets to Australia. So I hope that answers your question, briefly. If you want to discuss this further about your personal circumstances, obviously you're more than welcome to give us a call or contact us on any of the means below. And if you're not already liked our Facebook page, please do like our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can give you updates and news about different immigration news, migration news, or student visas or education or promotions that are available in the coming weeks or months for the next intake. So as of today, I think this week we've had another trips from offshore from Sri Lanka and India. Congratulations to those clients, and I've seen quite a thing compares or matches that smile and the thank you we get from our clients for getting their visas sorted and look forward to a future career in Australia. So thanks to all those clients who visited us in the office in the last couple of weeks, and I really, really appreciate them coming over and thanking us for the services that we have provided to them in the past, and will continue to do that in the future. Okay, so the next question that I usually get is, uh, can I use my IELTS or PTE, which I did last year? Is the immigration going to look at it in a negative way? That how come you got a IELTS or PTE result when you were here on a visitor visa and you had no intention to stay in Australia? So the answer to that question, my personal belief, my experience is yes, you can. There's no reason why you can't show that you have a PTE or IELTS score from 6 months ago, whereas you put in an application for a visitor visa 2 months ago. That does not mean that your intention is to come and study in Australia. No, absolutely not. I disagree with that strongly. And the PT and English score is not just for study in Australia. It could be for America, it could be for UK, it could be for a job, it could be for a migration process in Canada, it could be for an EOI in any of the states in Australia. That does not mean that you only visited Australia to study in Australia. There could be change in circumstances, that you found something, you're looking at a career pathway for a while and you never thought about it too deeply, until the time you came to Australia, and you actually experienced it firsthand, that oh wow, this is what I can do. Okay, I really want to change my career path. I want to become a social worker instead of a teacher. And guess what? I did my PTE exam 6 months ago to apply for a residency in Canada as a teacher, but that didn't work out. So let me try a student visa in Australia. And can I use my PTE or IELTS, which I did 6 months ago? Yes, of course you can. Nobody's stopping you to use that English or PTE score that you did 6 months. We are doing this converting your visa subclass from a subclass 600 to a subclass 500, which is a student visa in Australia. Obviously, as soon as we apply for a subclass 500 onshore within Australia, you are granted a bridging visa A, bridging visa subclass A. So every time I get this question is, once I'm on a BVA, can I start work in Australia? Can I start to work in Australia while I'm waiting for my student visa? How long it's going to take for me to get my work rights? So clear answer to this question is no. You cannot work in Australia if you are on a bridging visa A from a visitor visa, waiting for your student visa to be granted. So till the time the Department of Immigration does not make a decision on your application for a student visa to be granted, you will not have your work rights in Australia. So your work right conditions stays the same as your previous substantive visa that you held in Australia, which was in this case subclass 600. So those conditions will continue until the time you are not granted a student visa. How long it's going to take for a student visa to be granted? It really depends on a number of factors. The major factor is your sector of education, your AQF level. If you're applying for a higher education, then the chances are that you will get a grant faster than a vocational course. Second factor is your health examination. So if you've not done a health examination in the last year, 1 year, you will have to do a health examination in Australia, and the sooner you do your health examination, the chances are you'll get your visa granted sooner. Okay, so another factor would be, how many applicants are there, how many visa applications are in process with the Department of Immigration. That we don't know the exact number, but you can get some information from the data, and from the department website will show you an approximate figure of number of weeks or months that is a usual waiting period for a student visa granted, not directly from a visitor visa, but a usual process for a student visa grant. That gets updated pretty much every month, so you'll get a recent update right now if you jump onto the department website, emi.gov.au. So if you have any questions still pending, or if you are going to be watching this video after I finish the live, you're more than welcome to post your questions in the comment box below, and we'll try to answer your questions as soon as we can, and we'll try to get back in contact with you to answer your queries. And if you want to book a consultation with one of our education experts or migration experts, please feel free to give us a call, or send us a WhatsApp message, or put a comment on our website, or send us an email to admin@sirus.com.au, and we'll be more than happy to come back to you with your query, or book you an appointment, a free consultation for education. For migration, there will be a small fees involved if you're looking to get queries about your permanent pathways in Australia. But if it is related to a student visa, more than happy to share your number, and we'll give you a call and talk to you. Thank you very much for watching this show again, Coffee with Mickey, and keep coming back to you again and again because of the love and the comments, and get through this Facebook page and the YouTube channel, and keep posting your comments, and I'll keep coming back to you again. Thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully you have a great week ahead and a great weekend. I'll see you again next week. Thank you.